What up? Welcome to A to the show. It is me, A to the Mo, back again with the most happening podcast on the internet. See, happening, I don't think actually has a definition, so I'm gonna claim it. We're the most happening. Learn that from Don Draper. It's toasted. Y'all non-madmen watching fucks out there don't get it, but the enlightened ones will. Yeah, welcome to the podcast. Another solo episode. They're so much more nerve-wracking for no reason. There's no reason for me to even care. I could delete it all when it turns out horrible. But that's just how it is. Put a lot of... You see those numbers sometimes, right? Like, let's see, I think last week's episode, which these are fake, but it says like 40 listens on YouTube. It's been out a day or something. And you're like, oh, fuck, if that was really 40 people, that is crazy, kind of. I mean, I know I'm like, the goal would be like way more than that, obviously. But even that would be, that's nuts. And I'm like, how many of these people do I know? It's probably all people I know, just secretly listening, not telling me, judging, wanting to see what happens before the end here. And I'll be like, I was watching up to the end. God, I gotta quit with the suicide references. It's getting unhealthy. All right, a lot of stuff going on. Shout out to Powwow last week calling in. That was cool. I'm glad he did it. Y'all let me know if if it worked out or whatever. If y'all think should we do more call-ins? I do like the it just happened to work out that way to where it was only on the last half. I think that is a move for certain people that might not. I mean, they want to call in, but like, what the fuck am I going to talk about? Like just doing a half of an episode is pretty good. It's like when you order the half a sandwich with the soup at a restaurant or something. You're not real hungry, but you could eat a little bit. And I have a couple people who have been wanting to call in the podcast, so now I think I got that down. Need to open that up a little bit to people that want to. So reach out to me if you're actually listening to this and you want to call on the podcast. You will get first dibs, I guess you will say. You'll be called shotgun, if you will. Some people claim they want it to be on, but they don't even listen. So I'm like, well, I mean, that's cool. And I might have them on eventually, but they're definitely not number one in my heart. Not like you, listener. You're the reason I do this. All right. So I wear the sunglasses. You can't see the tears. All right. A lot happening. Let's see in the normal worlds. I like to talk a little current events here at the beginning. Typically, it kind of seems in the last weeks they recorded that MAGA's turn on Trump just a little bit. I don't think it'll fully ever happen. Like Trump himself said, he could kill someone on Fifth Avenue and his followers would still love him or whatever the quote exactly was. But there's been a couple things that have happened that I have personally seen where people are like, maybe I was dumb, or they normally start off with like, this ain't about politics, but some of this ain't right or whatever, Like they're trying to make it act like it's not for Trump, but they are really kind of coming around like, oh shit, nothing's ever going to get better. Now, I come at all this, and I know I'm a broken record here, from like not being on really either side. And so I'm like, yeah, of course it's broken. None of them care about you, and they're all bought and paid for by corporations or other countries or whatever. And yeah, like no shit. They don't do shit for normal American citizens. I mean, it's all about corporations' stock values being increased. As long as that's happening, they think we're being successful because they're being paid by those people. That's how it works for me. But I guess that one of the things, there's this some Epstein stuff came out a little bit, not a lot, but basically some Democrats had some connection to some reporter maybe who's claimed they've had this emails from Jeffrey Epstein since like 2018, and they just now released it. Now, I do think we talk about any of the Epstein stuff, what you always have to remember is that both sides have been in power, alternating back and forth since the whole time this Epstein stuff's happening, and they never were in a rush to release any information. So now of course it's national interest, because it's like, hey, this rich guy that no one knows how exactly got his money had all these ties to politicians and celebrities, and then he had children, and that's another thing we'll debate, but young girls, 16, 15-year-old girls on his island having sex with these people, and then maybe blackmailing them for some foreign agencies and compromising people or whatever was happening, right? And I think what we get left out a little bit in that is that Jeffrey Epstein also had a house in New York City, And to act like he wasn't also fucking doing crazy shit there is nuts. So people be like, the island, the island. I'm like, the island I think is very cool. But there's probably a lot of other stuff tied into it all. But anyway, what I'm saying is no one's ever been in a rush to release this Epstein stuff. I mean, Epstein has a fucking episode of that VH1. It wasn't MTV Cribs, but that VH1 Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, maybe was what it was called. They like brought back an old show. He is on an episode where they're talking about his New York City mansion. So like he's been in the public eye. People have known of him or knew of him, all that sort of stuff. But anyway, emails get released where it's basically Epstein claiming Donald Trump knew of the girls and spent hours with the girls and all that. But then also there's a claim they're like Epstein saying like it's so funny how far they're off. Like the Clintons have never been to the island, and it's that reads like someone just topped up a fake email to throw in there to be like, haha, this will get them on our. And all of it could be fake. I mean, we got fucking AI fake videos and all kinds of shit, and now people are like, here's some text documents that I got back, 7 years ago. If you want to believe this, and I don't know, maybe there is a way to verify all of it. They're like, no, we know it's authentic, but there's something about all it's like, who the fuck knows what to believe in this, but it's interesting what's happened. And then word is at the time of this recording that there's some other files that the Republican side may release because to combat this side, these releases. And you're like, I don't know, just release all of it, but they won't, and it's all heavily redacted. And again, who knows what's fake or real anymore? I think they're all guilty. And then the other sort of Trump thing that turned people was he had an interview with can't remember the lady's name, blonde haired lady on Fox News that normally sounds kind of dumb. Maybe not dumb is the right word, but she's like real stubborn, I guess, in her argument style or whatever. But anyway, she had Trump on and kind of went at him a little bit, more so than most Fox News people do, and asked him about him letting in immigrants still on these certain visas. And he was like, basically said Americans aren't talented and we need to get talented people in here, which is exactly what that Indian guy said that was running for president, Vivek. And then they kind of got everyone to kind of hate on him because he basically said the same thing of like Americans are falling behind because they're lazy in all these ways. And Trump's basically saying Americans aren't talented enough for certain jobs. That's why they have to do this. And he could be correct. I don't fucking know. But I do think it's very funny that the like anti-immigrant guy's like, well, of course we need immigrants. And then to see his base be like, he betrayed us. He fucked us. And you're like, well, I think they have a right to be upset. I guess first thing I'm going to say, because what I've been seeing from my more liberal friends on the internet is they're taking this one with the dunk on people like, yeah, you fucking idiot. You really believed him. And I get that take, but there is a side of like, well, you got to let these people that fell for it, like if someone joined a cult, and it ruined their life, and that's kind of what some people believe, whether one side or the other. If they start changing their mind and coming to it, you don't just fucking be like, I can't believe you were so dumb to join that cult. You should be like supportive or like let them change their mind. For me on politics, I don't think it has to be as deep as a cult. Just people find out new information, their opinions change, and then they'll be like, oh shit, I was wrong, And then another thing, the Democrat sort of side seems to be taking these victories as like, see, I can't believe you voted for him instead of our side, but that was never even an option for a lot of the Republican voters. Like they didn't care about, making sure trans athletes competed in sports and, immigrants came in and got checks or whatever. Like the things the sort of Democrat side were that made it seem like there were their tentpole issues. I mean, maybe I'm misremembering or whatever, but they always were like kind of so off base from what the sort of Republican voter cared about at all that it's not like, I don't know. Maybe they put someone else up. Some people would have swapped sides, but just because Trump's horrible, I don't think means that Kamala was going to have the master plan to make it all work. I think that's a bad take on the Trump being an idiot, and not even an idiot. I think it's just, again, all the politicians are bought and paid for. And I know that sucks if you don't think that, this is like when you found out about Santa Claus and you're like, no, it can't be. Like, I think it is. This is just how it is. And now, does it matter? Probably. Of course it matters. Can you do anything? Probably not. So you just fucking go to work and you distract yourselves with dumb vices and habits and entertainment so that it can, soothe you as you go into your twilight years, eating the fucking future food paste or whatever they're cooking up for us out there, the lab grown meats. All right, let's see. Oh, it's something else. This isn't politics, but it kind of is. The penny is dead. Apparently, that's officially happening. Now, I've been hearing about the penny dying for 15, 20 years. I feel like people are like, no, they're about to get rid of the penny. There are no more pennies. And then you'd be like, well, how the fuck does that work? Like, everyone was really confused. And you'd be like, well, you just make everything go to 5 cents. And then people are like, well, how are you going to do that? You going to calculate the taxes? And I was always like, probably. But I think what they've ended up doing is they just do rounding. So if it's like, 392, it's just 390. Like they just drop it down 2 cents. I think that's how cash registers are currently handling it. And, it's probably for the best. I don't know if the best is the right word, but for many, many decades, our coin systems have been compromised. Coins used to actually have some value based in metal, and then they take out these metals. That's why certain coins before certain years are a lot more valuable than others. They just kind of take it on and like, now this thing's actually whatever. And then the value of metals go up. So I think a penny was costing them like 1.4 cents to make or something like that. So like we were losing money for every penny they printed. We could probably get rid of more change. I understand that's against the thought. All these people are like, no, we got to have all the physical money. If not, the government's going to fuck us. I think this far we're so deep in, most of the money that exists doesn't exist, as in like, if everyone was like, when cash out their banks tomorrow, we're like, all right, give me that money. Like there isn't enough money. I don't think that exists that people have, or even close to it. It's like all in the cloud now, like we're so deep in this shit. I think people are crazy for getting out. And then people are like, no, let me go get a bunch of gold. I get it. The infomercials are telling you that's what you got to do, but they put themselves in a situation where they're like, no, this is the post-apocalypse and I have gold. And then this other stranger that I want to trade with will value that gold, but not the paper money because this gold's real. And it's like, but who gives a shit about gold in the post-apocalypse? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Also, there's this sort of like, I'm going to go take this to Game of Thrones, a good book series, a good TV show that ended badly, I guess I should say. There's this idea, the Lannisters have all the gold, they have all the money, but the Tyrells, is that what the fuck? God damn it, I can't believe it. Marjorie Tyrell, I think his name. And the Tyrells, they own they have all the food. They have like, they actually grow all the stuff. And it's like, well, the food's obviously more valuable than the gold. Like, who gives a shit? But they would say like the gold could buy them people and do whatever, but the gold also has to buy food. So I don't know. Somehow that was all connected, but just know we're all fucked. And the only way out is, even though we are, I think, in a simulation, we got to go into another simulation. We got to create the simulation, the Matrix, if you will. For some people, that's probably easier to think about. Jack in. And we need to go into the Matrix that's inside the Matrix, right? So in the Matrix 2 and 3, I believe, the second one, third one, you realize that when they're checked out of the Matrix, they're actually still in a Matrix. It's just that's like the second level. And that needs to exist because there's going to be the people like the Morpheuses that need the conspiracy, right? They need to be the rebel fighter. So like the machines that created all of it, they made a Matrix in a Matrix. So when you get out of it, you're like, no, I actually have the truth. You don't really have the truth. There's a whole other one, So just know that's what we need. We got to just go deeper. I think we just got to go deep inside of it, and the simulation will provide. So we're going to work on the church. I'm sure the church already exists, but we're going to have our own sect. I don't trust these weirdos and their simulation theories. Mine's the best. Theirs suck. All right. Shout out my Lumen shirt. This if you know, you know. If you don't, catch up, bitches. All right, let's play a song here. I don't have my notes up here at all, but we'll get them here. All right, first song we're gonna go with is from the homie Sir Nasty, and really we gotta just shout out Graveyard. I appreciate them and a handful of other artists that keep us with songs to play every week. That is a vital part, I think, of my podcast. We play some underground music. I would like some more variety, but not as many people send stuff these days. Podcasts are dying. Music's dying. Music promotion's dying. They fucking started telling everyone their shit's getting botted. Everyone quit fucking trying to promote their music because everyone's scared. But there ain't no bots here. This is the real shit. So anyway, send us your music. Like I said, shout out Sir Nasty. It's keeping us with the album. Who knows if he's cooking up more? You know, I hate to just keep asking for more and more, but we need it, Nasty. The song we're gonna go with here off of his album called "Dealing with My Problems," and the name of this song is "Hold Up."
Yes, ma'am, I'm one of the kings of the jungle. Nigga, what it is? 478, nigga, that where I live. Making y'all niggas be hating at the crib. But one thing about it, bitches love me in the bill. They play with my gray and they say Mr. Gibb. Barbecue, nigga, AKs at your ribs. I'm not the babysitter, home play with your kids. Shoot you in your motherfucking face in this bitch. Please don't make me tick, I get sick. Niggas know how gangsta shit get. My young bitch hit me up to get dick. Now she like, oh shit, poppy, I'm sick. No, shit get crazy. She say, baby, I don't wanna have a baby. Damn, shit get crazy. Young niggas run up on me, blam, blam. What we talking about? Hold up. Why the nigga acting like a chair getting swole up? Hold up. Why they hoe acting like she can't get swole up? Hold up. Rest in peace, Pimp C, UGK when I roll up. We tell them bitches, hold up. Smoke some, bitch, better smoke some, bitch. I got a bitch on the 30s, yeah, dirty, she sneaking. Mercer gang, yeah, I took that bitch to a meet you. Pre-game, we was taking shots, she geeking. Pre-cum, bitch, yeah, my shit get leaking. The bed get squeaky. She said, I just want some head, just eat me. She said, I just want some head, just eat me. She said, I want every last drop, she greeted. She said, I called, why you didn't pick up? Bitch, I was at the gym playing pickup. I was with the frat boys playing flip cup. Bartender, yeah, I fill up your tip cup. Had me laying in the bed with my dick up. When she come, sound like she got the hiccups. What the fuck? She said her ex dick suck. Bitch, put the money in the bag, this a stick up. I know that bitch when expecting that. Hold up. Why the nigga acting like a chair getting swole up? Hold up. Why they hoe acting like she can't get swole up? Horror music. Hold up. Rest in peace, Pimp C, UGK when I roll up. We tell them bitches, hold up. Smoke some, bitch, better smoke some, bitch. So the side nigga called the husband and say, I'm sleeping with your wife, man. The husband say to the side nigga, yo, my side bitch just told me she got that shit. So the side nigga say to the husband, nigga, you telling me I got that shit? The husband say, nigga, I don't know, but if I got it, you got it. This nigga done lost his mind, y'all.
Sir Nasty with Hold Up. Very good. I like it. I mean, the beats made by me. Very simple. Kind of just keeps the same. I don't know, kind of reminds me like of the sort of 1960s movie vibes, somebody's very consistent. And I just think he did real cool shit with it. Like it a lot. I'm excited for future possible collabs, Sir Nasty and Southern Comfort. Got all those in the works. Got to just keep mentioning them, put them out in the universe. That's how the simulation works. You got to talk about it and be about it. And anyway, that's what's going on. Go find Sir Nasty on your favorite streaming site. Give them the listens. Go to Bandcamp, buy the album. All that shit. All the support helps. Speaking of me making music, I recorded a couple more songs this week. I'm trying to make I really like everything I have going for like a whatever potential next album I put out is. Like each song I make, I'm like, that's pretty cool. But I'm like, listen all together. I'm like, nah, this is pretty fun. But it's weird because the last however many albums I've made, I've had like I choose all the beats first and I kind of sit them together. I'm like, this is the vibes. And I kind of make the album that way. But this has been, I have 50 fucking beats in a folder of like, I want to do all these. And I'm just listening through until one, I'm like, all right, here we go. And then I just fucking force it basically. And it's worked. It's worked so far. Maybe not always, but it's worked enough. And anyway, I went to upload a single actually to put out next week. Or I guess maybe this week when the episode comes out. Because I was wanting to get out before Thanksgiving, so maybe I promoted a little bit, but I've been cutting it close. And then honestly, in December, all the listens die for people that don't make music or make money off music, all that stuff. Like you just don't understand. Like December is such a dead month. Like everyone just some people I guess listen to just Christmas music, like so much so. And honestly, I don't even know if it's they listen to Christmas music. I just now have thought of this. We've mentioned, I think last time Soko was on, the way the streaming services work is all the money actually goes into one pot, and then whatever percentage of all listens your songs are, you get that much of the pot. Maybe it's that in December, so many people jump into and listen to Christmas music extra that it is affecting the pot, right? More so than the fact that you get less listeners. Now you do a little bit, at least I do. I mean, my listeners are down like crazy. I haven't put out anything in 6 months, and I don't really have I have like 3 people I think that care, and I appreciate y'all. But if it's on someone's like new music thing or whatever, I don't think they're listening necessarily all the time, or they get over it or whatever. So anyway, December's a dead month. So I was like, do I want to put out a single just to get listens for 1 week and then die? Is that really worth it? Also, the song I was going to put out, the beat has a sample from the previous song's beat. And so I do in my mind, I'm like, everyone, first time they hear it, it should be at like in that transition. But I know I care too much about song placement and all that shit way more than the average listener. It's like, no one gives a shit. So we'll see what happens, but I'm working on shit. My goal is if I can get to 10 songs, I'm going to call it an album. I don't know what we're going to call it, the 10 pack or some shit. And I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's my music update. All right, let's see. A little sports talk. I only have one thing on the list, but it's a big thing. I love the NBA, as the listeners of this podcast may know. And the fucking Mavericks fired Nico Harrison. People not in the know, let's try to be as quick as possible. Basically, about 9 months ago, the GM, general manager of the Dallas Mavericks, traded Luka Doncic away to the Lakers. And the most, like one of the craziest trades of all time of any sport, just because he was so beloved there, he wouldn't want to trade. He had been to the finals and the conference finals twice, and he had more first team All NBAs than Steph Curry, and yet he's 12 years younger than him or some crazy number like that. Just all, it was a crazy trade. It was just a crazy trade. And that GM just doubled down, was like, he doesn't play defense, and I don't think he's a winner. We'll never win with him, and we're going to go this other route. And the other route was like Anthony Davis, who's always injury prone and, got older. And then the Mavericks lucked out, got gifted the number 1 overall pick, some believe. And they draft this guy, Cooper Flagg. And then things have not been going well for the Dallas Mavericks. So very early on in the season, the owner has fired the general manager. Now, I personally think the owner deserves just as much blame, but he, of course, isn't going to get fired. The guy owns a team, or his wife does, and he's running it. So, of course, this guy's going to take all the blame, but all the fans are cheering at the games to fire Nico, who is their general manager. So, I mean, it was a big distraction. I get why they did it. You kind of feel bad for Cooper Flagg for his early development that, it's like so much drama around and, probably not the best start to your career, trying to learn all your habits and all that sort of stuff. But, there's a lot of stuff you're like, so I guess at the moment, I think Nico's a little bit of the fall guy because I think the owner deserves credit for it as well. But some people think he might have been a Laker plant. For people who don't know, Nico Harrison was, before his job as a Colts or the Mavericks general manager, he was an executive at Nike. He had a good relationship with Kobe Bryant. So that is kind of his connections. People are like, maybe he was, secretly working for the Lakers this whole time. Now, I don't think it was that crazy. I think he had a vision and he didn't get to see it through in a lot of ways. His team wasn't ever healthy or whatever. My one zag here, my one defense of this is before Luka Doncic was traded last season, something no one seems to remember on like normal NBA podcasts to listen to or ESPN or anywhere else, is everyone was hating on Luka Doncic before the trade. They'd be like, he's lazy, he's out of shape, he doesn't take the game seriously. There was a lot of hate. But then as soon as this guy traded him, everyone was like, Luka's the top 3 player. How dare you? How dare you question his commitment? And I'm like, well, y'all were doing that a week ago on television. So it did something about the trade. It was crazy because most people don't like the Lakers. And so, but somehow him getting traded to the Lakers made him more likable. Like people now want to cheer for him. And he's been very good this season. So, and then some fans are like, no, Luka's going to come back to Dallas now. And it's like, well, that's just not how it works. They don't I mean, the Lakers are going to give him all the money. And I mean, if he wants to turn down some money, maybe he could go back. But it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting how it all works. And, again, the owner of that team, I think, deserves just as much blame as Nico Harrison, if not more. I mean, he came out and said the same thing. Like, we need people that work hard. He mentioned like all these people, and then Shaq was one of the people. Everyone's like, well, Shaq's like famously not a hard worker. He was like a play himself in a shape guy, and he was still awesome. But anyway, that's the biggest basketball news. Thunder, of course, watching them. I think I missed one game so far this season, but I've watched all the rest. And the game was the one against, I think it was the Grizzlies. And then I woke up the next morning, or not even, maybe it was the next morning, and I was like, shit. And I remember the NBA puts out these little 15-minute, like you can watch a whole game in 15 minutes. It's just like only the made baskets, I believe, big plays, stuff like that. And when I did, I was like, man, this wouldn't be bad. If I didn't have a way to watch the games, I could do this, like wake up in the morning and be like, all right, let's watch and I might do that for the other games soon. I mean, it's pretty enjoyable. But yeah, Thunder have been great. They've lost one game. They have so many people injured all the time. Shea isn't playing the fourth quarter. Good vibes so far. We'll see again how it goes throughout the rest of the season. But it makes my sports fandom cool, I'll tell you that. All right, some video game stuff happened this week. Steam announced, or Valve, I should say, announced a new line of hardware that'll be coming out next year. And it has the potential to like change the gaming market, I would say. Now, some people are kind of downplaying it because years ago, Valve put out Steam OS and told other computer companies they could make their own Steam machines and sell them or whatever with the operating system. And they kind of flopped. No one really gave a shit. But again, that's because Valve themselves aren't making it. At least that's my idea. Now, Valve has since then put out the Steam Deck, which almost once a week I look at the page. I'm like, do I want to buy one of these? But I really don't have the money for another video game thing. I spend too much money on it as it is, to be honest. For a grown man, it's very sad. And anyway, they announced the Steam Cube is what people are calling it, or Steam Machine, Steam, whatever the fuck it is. The Gabe Cube is what I like the name for it. But yeah, they're putting out basically a little computer. It's a little square box. I'm sure I have a picture of it up here. And you connect to a TV. There's the Steam controller too. And it looks bulky as shit, to be honest. But I've never held a Steam Deck, and I know it's based off of that. So maybe it does feel good, once you're holding it. And then they're eventually going to release a Steam Frame, which is going to be their Oculus competitor, which is VR. And it's very compelling. I mean, as someone who I'm slowly been building up a Steam library, I don't have a whole lot of stuff, but I got quite a bit. I mean, I have this computer here that I play my Steam games on, so I don't necessarily need one, but there is something. It is neat looking. And, if you wanted to play those, if you had a huge library and you want to play stuff in your living room or whatever, I get it. If you don't have a gaming PC, but this plays, a large number of games. I don't think it's going to play the best. I mean, it might play some good. I don't know. Who knows? We don't have the specs, the full specs yet, of course. But they say it's 6 times as more powerful than the Steam Deck. That's what people are claiming. And anyway, it's very exciting in the gaming world. The word's always been in video game circles or podcasts or whatever is that, there's 2 companies that could come in and make a splash in the gaming console market. And that would be Valve, who just announced it. And they make the platform Steam, which sells all the computer games people don't know. So they're already in it, but as far as the hardware. And then Apple. People have always been not worried, but they thought, Apple could come in with some home console. And people just love Apple so much, they might just be like, yes, I am buying it, But I don't personally think that. I don't think Apple would make a good home console. Maybe a handheld, but I mean, they have a fucking iPad and all the games suck. They don't suck, I guess. If you like touchscreen sort of gaming and things, but it died for me a long time ago, personally. So yeah, that's the big news items of the video games. And then for me personally, hopefully I can get some footage here to put during all this. I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077. Now I have an old save file from I think 3 years ago or 4 years ago, whenever I play the game. And I thought about just picking that one up, but I'd already beat the game, but I bought the Phantom Liberty DLC and I was like, I kind of want to play that. But instead, I just started at the beginning again. That's the best part of these big open world RPGs to me. Normally, created my character. I made a chick. Thought about making her with a dick because that is an option in this game. And you could put if they're circumcised or not, and somewhat of a size. I know my original one, I went with small penis man because I was making it after me. And I thought about putting a big penis on this lady, and then my wife was in there, and I kept going like, "What about this?" And she would look up, and my chick with the biggest tits aren't really that big. I was a little disappointed that they couldn't be bigger. I mean, we're in the future where like it's very sex forward video game. And but it was the biggest they could be. And then I'd be like, what about this dick? And my wife would look up and be like, why is it jiggling? You know what? As soon as you would click it, it would be like, bling, bling. And I'd be like, ha. So I thought that was very funny. So that's just to create a character, it gets pretty cool, pretty quick. I went with a corpo start this time, which is, there's corporation, there's city kid, and then there's an outsider or whatever the fuck. Whatever the outsider one is, the one I did the first time because I grew up in a small town. It made sense to be like, so you can be from outside the city, which is like the rough, rednecky biker types, I guess. And then the city kid is, what it sounds like. You're like the Aladdin type, if you will. And then the corpo is like you come in from the business world. But you get screwed over real quick or whatever. So it all like the first few hours of each one's game is different depending on that, but it kind of all comes to the same spot. And then you go forward into a big open world. The game is really impressive in a lot of ways. I will say it's kind of boring sometimes. And I remember thinking that the first time, I don't have that many hours in the game for my first playthrough because I was kind of looking over my save file. And I was really surprised that the hours that I played wasn't more. And I didn't have that many trophies. I just did the main storyline and beat it. There was a lot of side stuff. I guess I just was like, fuck it. And I do remember now that I've been playing back through this new game, when you're doing stuff, it's very fun. We're actually like at someone, you're fucking slicing them up with a sword or shooting them with a gun, whatever the case may be. It is pretty cool. And the game looks good. The driving's pretty good, all that stuff. But a lot of it's just you're going places. You're always running or driving somewhere. Like you're not normally... I feel like you're doing all that way more than actually playing the game of like the combat or even thinking of some of the like sort of puzzle, not even puzzle stuff. It's more of like personality checks. It's like if you have a intelligence of this, you can bypass it through here. If not, you're gonna have to talk to these, that sort of RPG adventure, talking to people sort of shit. So some of it's just it is a little boring at times. For as good as the game is, and it is good, there are times where I'm like, I'm so over like taking the elevator down, running over to this, like just get me there, and then I'll fight people and shit. So weird complaint because I get it's a big open world game, and I have just thought over the last however many years, maybe the open world game fatigue has set in. I mean, I've been playing them since Grand Theft Auto 3 pretty heavy. I mean, all of them, like these are all great. And then the last few years, I'm like, let's get to it. Maybe I don't know. The game's really good. I haven't got it all to the DLC. I'm debating going back to my old save file because I still have it. I think I'm about 7 hours into this new one, and it is cool. But I do remember I had all kinds of upgrades and cool shit on it. But can I just jump back in? Probably not. And I like playing as a chick. I don't know if I'll try to probably go a lesbian route, but maybe not. Maybe I'll try to be a cis lady in the future. I remember my first game, I romanced up some lady and had sex in a tank, and there was a whole cutscene for it. And there are tits everywhere. And, so, Cyberpunk 27, a lot of cool stuff about it. But like sometimes, and I guess my thought when I'm playing it is also like, if I was in high school or even in college where I just had like hours and hours to kill, like when I would be really deep in like Oblivion or Skyrim or Fallout or any of those sort of games, like this game would have been perfect just to be like, no, you could spend all day doing shit. But that's not my life now. And so when I'm playing it for an hour or two at a time, I'm like, I didn't get anything. I did nothing. It's what it feels like. And I wanted to, but I know if I like woke up early on a Saturday and just played it, it would be more fun. I just have real life stuff to do at the moment, which is bullshit. I would love to just veg out and play video games. I should be Severance. I should get Severance, and then that's all I would do. Work me would do shit, but I wouldn't know about it. On my work trip thing a couple weeks ago when I was talking to Pal about it, I told them they kept annoying the shit out of me because I mentioned Severance there. is this dude mentioned that took us out to dinner. He was from some company that was like trying to show off or whatever, and he bought all of our dinner. And he was trying to say like how much he loved the TV show Succession. And I also love the TV show Succession. And I was like, oh, dude, it's one of my favorite shows. And then, it is his favorite show, he claims. So we kind of talked about it. And then maybe a few minutes later, I was like, oh, I just thought of something from, and I said Severance instead of Succession because like they're both S words. And I was like, there's a scene from that I always sing to my wife. And I'm curious if you know it since it's your favorite show, thinking I said Succession. And so I'm, of course, referencing when Kendall sings to his father something, and or it's a rap actually on a singing, and he goes, L to the OG. And I say that shit to my wife all the time because it's like we both found it's so cringe in the show. It's very funny. And I saw him he goes, I watched Severance, but I don't remember that part. And I go, Severance? And he's like, that's what you just said. I was like, oh, I'm in Succession. But like it ruined the whole conversation. And I've thought about it 2 weeks. I'm like, God damn it. I don't know if that guy even knows the fuck I was talking. I've came across so stupid confusing these two shows. They're nothing alike. They just have similar names. And not even similar, just fucking the first letter and they're one word. So anyway. Cyberpunk, that was I don't know. I'm not loving it though. I'm not loving it as much as I would like to. But it's cool. I think I would still recommend it to people, as weird as it is. I think it's very good. I just need more time to dig into it. Really connect with my character a little more. All right, let's go ahead and play a song. We come back. I will talk some more shit, and then we'll be done. This is easy peasy. All right, next song we're gonna go with here is from the homie. It's your boy H2, and this song I actually could not find on the streaming sites anywhere yet, so it might be an early listen. Maybe it's an exclusive here. Who knows? I should be more informed, but I'm not. So it's your boy H2. He sent this one over. It's called Less Clothes, and it is produced by our homie Bradster X, but his producer name is Big Cock Beats. So don't forget that. And I don't think we've played any songs he's produced, maybe one of his own. But I don't think we've played any on this podcast yet, and we rarely talk about it. So maybe after this, we will see. Let's close. It's your boy H2. Let's give it a listen.
Big Cock Beats, dude? What the fuck do your beats sound like, man?
It's H again, 30 and the flow still sounds like I'm only 20, so not even aging is aging him. Once again, I came to win with a plate full of shit, which explains why I'm wrecking every stage with a grin. And my teeth are grinding, like my feet complete time and finding no kind of time to unwind, so I'm winding up for a pitch. These bitches wish they could climb, and I'm in my own zone where the flow so cold, not even a snow cone could melt it. I'm pelted and belching while losing my belt, and know you smelt it and felt it. Second, I dealt it, cause I'ma swing to the bell hit, call this rebellion, cause I never stop being a hellion. I live right under Satan, so every time I raise this roof, he calls and complains how selfish I've been lately. I told him you goddamn right in this house, so freeze the day I change it. Yeah, this might mistake me for a sadist, cause I still don't believe a thing can break me. But can you really blame me when all this came from pain? This what you asked for? Huh? Cause nah, I can't stand your game. Nah, it's level after level after level after level until my neck broke. I'ma make you check, yo. Level, 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 bitch. I even bless foes with the best flows. Check this wet nose with less clothes. Now let's close with level after level after level after level. Ay, come on. After level after level after level after level. That's right. After level after level after level after level after level after level. Ay. As many times I say I'm boss, as many times I'm taking losses and taking pauses. Can say I'm flawless, cause oh my god, it's gotten so complex, nothing gets accomplished. I'm just bearing crosses to break them and make them chopsticks. Oh shit, soon as it's time to nod my head, it's into the sand like an ostrich. As I stretch poetic depths just to get respect, and I step in the character the mill's been spilled, so I can't stop and get soft as silk. Gotta grab these stills, dust this roof, spread this filth, make it rain this stain as I hit your brain. Just get it on film and bang! This what you asked for? Huh? Cause nah, I can't stand your game. Nah, it's level after level after level after level until my neck broke. I'ma make you check, yo. Level, 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 bitch. I even bless foes with the best flows. Check this wet nose with less clothes. Now let's close with level after level after level after level. Ay, come on. After level 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 after level, bitch. I even bless foes with the best flows. Check this wet nose with less clothes. Now let's close with level after level after level after level. Ay, come on. After level after level after level after level after level after level. They keep telling me I'ma be a celebrity and that I better be ready for anything. By the way, remember me cause I've known you forever, but I'm just now getting to be your number one fan. I'm sorry I didn't spend the $3 on your room to breathe, but I just got your t-shirt and your new CD with you and the whole crew you see. Oh yes, Kuma G, thank you for pushing me, but fuck you for your truancy. Truthfully comparing you to me, you might as well hire me to write your eulogy. I'ma be here longer than you or anybody you can see. I'm guessing you expect you to be some pussy pushover thinking he's old news by next week, but I'ma just keep beating them cheeks till they red meat. If you misread me, let me iterate that H is deadly with every medley. It's evidently I'm off my meds, about to make a mess on every beat they send me. There's no pretending I'm back to bend these bitches back with every bit of my will to the back. They head touch they fucking heels. I pack them up and close them off fucking deal. I'm like fuck a pill, either you want a will, so if you want to chill, cause I've come to kill, I'll make sure you feel pain. This what you asked for? Huh? Cause nah, I can't stand your game. Nah, it's level after level after level after level until my neck broke. I'ma make you check, yo. Level, 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 bitch. I even bless foes with the best flows. Check this wet nose with less clothes. Now let's close with level after level after level after level. Ay, come on. After level 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 after level. Ay.
It's your boy H2 with Less Clothes, produced by Big Cog Beats. All right, my first comment on Big Cog Beats. That's the homie Brad Trash, you don't know. And maybe he wants to keep his identity secret, I just ruined it. God damn it. I think you just have too many tags. I think that you should get rid of the dude, what the fuck's your beat sound like? And maybe just leave the rooster thing. I think that's like a little more, it's just too much. It's like too long. And I mean, I repeat a lot in that. I don't care necessarily about that. I mean, I guess I do because I don't do that. And I'm like, it's distracting, but H2 doesn't care. Who gives a shit? I do think the part where the snares like do like the weird shit. I think I'm sure they're like a loop. Maybe not. I don't know. It sounded crazy, but it worked for H2. H2 made it work. And then the song was long as fuck. But you know, H2 does that sort of shit. And yeah, very cool H2. Keep making the music. Keep putting it out. And maybe again, I don't know if that's exclusive shit or not. No idea. But yeah, I'm sure it's on some album called God, I wish I could come up with a cool H2 album title name right now, but they're always so, it's always like some pun thing kind of going on as well that I don't know. But yeah, y'all go follow It's Your Boy H2 on your favorite streaming site. If you're a fan of Eminem, but you want something more authentic and less fake, It's Your Boy H2 is where you need to go. That's what I say. He is also going to be on whatever album I put out next. The song me and him have, I'm actually worried it's going to get pulled when I upload it because it samples a very famous TikTok sound. The like sort of nostalgic, the and that's like a horrible explanation or rendition of it, but y'all would know it if y'all heard it. It's basically like the walking through a 90s mall and then it'll have that music over. It's like and you're like it kind of takes you back to that. It's that. That is the main melody of the beat. But it's so awesome that I was like, we're doing this, and they should be perfect. And he fucking kills the song. I just said earlier today. Everyone I sent stuff to lately has just been murdering it. So I'm choosing good there. Shout out Corey H2. And then Brad, I know, just sent him something today. I know he'll kill that one. So shout out the homies. Wouldn't do it without y'all, because making 2 verses sometimes is tough for us old folk. All right, let's see. What's some good stuff to wrap here? Oh, speaking of beats, I made 4 incredibly poor beats the other night within 30 minutes. Because my sister-in-law, it's my wife's sister, she has started like a little charter school. It's not a big one. It's like for small homeschool type kids or whatever. I don't know. I don't want to speak on their business, but I also don't know enough about it. And but she requested some rap beats because the kids were gonna try to rap this poem or whatever. I don't know what the fuck it was. They're gonna try to rap something to a beat. And but she wanted it really slow and basic. And so I made one, and I was like, well, I said slow is relative. That's the other thing people don't get. Like, someone says, I need a slow beat. Well, it's so relative to everything, like slow to one person's on to another. So I was like, well, 80 BPM or 160, either one of those, that's like my go-to. If someone just asks me like one, I'm like, yeah, I'd kill it. And I like shit faster than that too. But that's kind of, so I made one there, and then I made one 10 BPM slower. And so I made 4 beats, each slower. And by the last one, it was literally just a kick and a snare, and then a couple hi-hats here and there. Like, there was nothing to it, because I kept being like, well, they said simple, and maybe this is too much and whatever. So I sent them over, and then the kids voted on beat number 1. I feel like this is a perfect opportunity that I should play it right here. So let me pull it up here. Let me get y'all dates of the one they voted on. We won't play the whole thing or whatever, but this is my contribution to the education system this week. So yeah, anyway, good shit like that. We'll stop this. So yeah, they voted for that to be that's the beat they're gonna use, and they're gonna perform something to it. I don't know. So that happened. It's me using my beats for good. Typically I'm using them for evil activities, of course, but not this week. Let's see what else. All right, here's something. Speaking of family, I meant to talk about it a couple weeks ago, I feel like. And it's probably something I shouldn't talk about. It'll be offensive to some, but this is my perspective, damn it, and I need to mention it. So a couple weeks ago, I went and saw my grandparents. I saw my parents too, but I went to my hometown. And my grandfather he has cancer. He's been in the hospital and all this stuff. And I think he's doing better from what I understand, but hadn't been doing good, but he's slowly getting better. And during my visit, my grandma wanted me to stop by their house before I left town, and just basically she wanted to just talk to me and vent to me, because I was, new ears to hear of all the problems and stuff like that. I get how it is, and shit's been really stressful. So I went by there and just hung out there for about an hour and talked to her. And she mentioned something about like back when I had Parkinson's. Now, I'm sure I've told this story before, and it feels a little fucked up because every time I'm going to say, my grandma's perception of this and my perception have always been different. I think I'm a little more, I don't know what the word is here, into it or defensive or whatever, because my grandma has some like weird anxiety issues, always did. And then like she looked at me like, you have the same thing as me. And I'm like, I know, but I'm just on medicated. So like we have some like overlap, medical stuff, And so anyway, years ago, she got diagnosed with Parkinson's. And I just didn't believe it. I remember looking at Parkinson's, and a good friend of mine growing up, his uncle had Parkinson's. And I was like, grandma just does not have Parkinson's, she just doesn't, like this guy kept saying. And then I was visiting once, my hometown, and I went to go see my grandmother, and I had been around a lot of drug users and pill poppers, if you will, through my college age and maybe a little before and after as well. And so I just know what the signs are of someone being real fucked up on pills. And so my mom was a nurse, she had become a nurse by then. And I got home that night and I just said, hey, I think you need to go to grandma's tomorrow because I just think she's over medicated. I think she's on a bunch of pills. And my mom was like, what? And I was like, I don't think she has Parkinson's. I think she's on a bunch of pills. And I mean, like, to me, this is like a big hero. Like, this is a huge lore in my life, you know, and I'm thinking of like my history. Like, this is a big story for me. And my mom and me go over the next day, sit down with my grandma and my papa. My mom's like, pull out all the pills you take. And, you know, my grandpa, they're not like hiding anything. They're like, yeah, here you go. This is what the doctors gave us. And my grandpa was like 2 Valium, a Xanax, some pain pills. You know, there was like 12 pills, but I remember the first 3 were 2 Valiums and a Xanax. And I was like, holy fuck. And so my mom's like, yeah, what? And they kind of went over how it happened. You know, they just prescribe these people stuff and they never tell them to quit taking the last stuff. They just, the doctor maybe assumes they're going to or forgets they're taking it. But either way, you know, these elderly people, they're getting over medicated, or at least that's how it's had my grandma. And my mom worked with my grandma to get her weaned off of it all, basically, right? Like worked on a plan to get it down or whatever. And then she no longer had Parkinson's and whatever, right? So that's like the history of it. So I'm hanging out there a few weeks ago. She brings up her Parkinson's, and I say, and I know this is bull, but I'm like this. I like to talk to everyone like their peers or whatever. And I was like, yeah, you know, I hadn't really got to talk to you since then, but I remember, you know, I basically told a very short version of the story I just said to my grandma. And my grandma, she goes, God healed me of my Parkinson's. As in, like, fuck you. You did nothing. You know, like, to me, I'm like, I saved my grandmother's life. I noticed this issue that maybe I, not alone, but one of the few people in our family that might have been like, oh, I think I recognize these symptoms. And, you know, found my mother, who's a nurse, got, you know, with her sort of, you know, trust through since her experience in the medical world, my grandparents trusted her advice, you know, it all worked out. And to then, you know, it's like, good job us. But in my grandmother's eye, God did it. Not God did it through me. God just healed her. She prayed and God took it away. And it's so outrageous to me that, like, you know, it was great seeing her, but it's all, I mean, I was like, God, you know, just leave it to, yeah, I'm sure there's a House episode about this or something, you know, but it was just a motherfucker. You know, that's how I felt in the moment, but whatever. Maybe I'm going to take it as I am God. I was God in that moment. He used me. I was an instrument. That is the divine pull I felt. And then speaking of drugs, I'm going to end on a final drug, little drug talk here, because I think they're always fun. Triple C's. All right. Recently, I saw someone mention Triple C's, maybe in a rap song somewhere, and then someone in the comments like, "Oh, I forgot all about those." I'm like, "Oh my God, how do you forget about Triple C's?" So maybe people out there don't know. It's just so you know, it was a brief time and place, if you will. My senior year of high school, I started getting a little fun, having a little fun, and there was this kid I mentioned him a few weeks ago, whatever, that had moved in from the Dallas area, and we started hanging out and doing cool shit. And he had mentioned taking Triple C's, and we were like, "What is this?" And he was all, you know, druggy kid knowledgeable about it. And he was like, Coracetin and cold and cough, which is just an over-the-counter cough medicine. It's little pills, but he was like, yeah, you take that, you take however many you mentioned, 8 or something, you'll get fucked up. And we look it up. Me and my friend Jonathan were, you know, on Arrowwood, I believe was the name of the website, which was like, it just had every drug and way to make homemade drugs. And I didn't do my, you know, make many homemade drugs, but I was always reading about it, trying to be cool. And so anyway, yeah, we figure out that the active drug in this is dextromethorphan or something close to that. We called it DXT or DXM or whatever the fuck it was. And so we started, we go to the store and we look on the back of all these cough syrup, looking at their active ingredients for this shit. And Coracetin, cold and cough. The Coracetin is the brand. Cold and cough is like the sub type, because there's Coracetin flu and something, Coracetin whatever. But Coracetin, cold and cough, Triple C's, they had the highest concentration of this dextromethorphan to pill. It was like 30 milligrams per pill, and Robitussin was 10, and then something else had 15, you know. And then you could just get straight up the cough syrup. I down a many a cough syrup bottle, just glunk, and you do it all for the lulz, if you will, the good times. And it's really a cry for help because your life sucks and you're trying to find anything to make you feel anything other than absolute depression and loneliness. And if you're hanging with the boys, that's a bonus. It's a little social activity. So I got really into it. Maybe I should be embarrassed, but I'm really not, because it kind of was a fun time. We call it robo-tripping. Everyone, I'm sure, has heard the term. Yeah, we get fucked up on these course scene called. And one night that really sticks out with me, and this is where I guess I get all depressed thinking about it, is friend Dustin was driving this car, and my little hometown, you're just dragging mains. You're going up and down Main Street, turn around at the end, drag back down, turn around at the end. That's basically what you're doing all night. And we buy a fuckload of these Coracetin and cold and cough packages. I don't know how we got so many or whatever, but I remember looking up how many will kill you. I pitched it as like, I'm just a badass, I'm going to take that many. And I want to say it was like 25. And I was like, I'll take 26 or something. That's how it went. Whatever the number was, I was like, I'll do one more. Now, to be honest, knowing what I know now, I think that number was probably for like an average 180-pound person. And at that time, I'm, pushing like 280 probably or something. I was a little heavier than I am now. And, so it probably wasn't the actual doses that killed me, but it was a lot. And I remember being in Dustin's car and just like us picking up people all night. And I'm just tripping out in the back seat. People are in and out of the car, sitting in my lap and shit. And I'm just like, I wonder if I'll die or not. And I don't. I fucking make it. And I go home then. I go home, go to bed and shit. But yeah, I used to do stupid shit like that. That was like, I feel bad about my prom, my senior year, because I didn't have an interest in who I was going with or anything. And again, I was just mentally checked out. Probably a little death wishy, I don't know if I'd be suicidal at that moment as much as like I just had a death wish maybe on some things, like fuck it, let's push it. And before we even went to our prom, me and my friend John, we made our friends stop at the Walmart. We walked in our tuxes and bought Robitussin, and then I downed Robitussin in the car. I think after prom, but we might have did it before. I don't really remember, to be honest, when we drank it. Might have been on our way home, though. And then when we got back, I'm all tripping out on Robitussin. And then the party starts as a block from my house. We walk to this place, and then I drink straight Everclear. And that's when I learned you can't robo-trip and be drunk at the same time. I just vomited everywhere, and I like passed out robo-tripping and woke up drunk as fuck. There was no like transition. It just happened that way. And then someone took me to someone's house 3 blocks away to go swimming. And I remember going underwater swimming, coming like, I'm going to fucking drown because I'm too drunk to swim. I got out of the pool. Like I was aware enough to be like, this is how you die in a pool. I can do this. So, fun night. But yeah, I don't know. I feel dumb sometimes for those. Also, another real dumb thing we used to do was dusters. So I was the generation that is the reason they make air dusters taste bad now. They used to not taste like anything. It was a little stoner kid's dream. But I remember I was 16. Actually, I was 15 because my friend Du was 16. He was one driving. And we went to Wichita Falls, Texas. And we bought my friend Jonathan. He had moved away to a town for a year and then came back. And in that year, he's like, I learned shit. These kids are doing dusters. So he told us about it, bought these dusters, and we're just fucking around in the car. And really, we're huffing it, right? So you're like spraying the air into a fucking bag, and then you hit that shit. And I mean, that's the way I would do it, because sometimes the air duster will like shoot out like a liquid nitrogen looking. I mean, it's probably not what it is, but it's what it looks like, some cold ass shit. And so, yeah, it's fun because it's like the opposite of helium. Like you hit it and your voice is really low, and then you start cracking up laughing and your brain's going, wow, wow, wow. That's basically the effect. And, it's just fun with the boys. But then people are doing it while driving and being stupid. And I'd be like, I don't like this at all. But I remember being in college. I wasn't in the dorms long till they kicked me out. But I remember just I would like fucking hit the weed, hit the duster, and then just fucking pass out, and then wake up and be like, what the fuck? Again, I just think I was death wishy at the time. Hopeless, if you will. Unsatisfied. Satisfied with love. So that's the Triple C's days, aka the Robitussin days. It's been a long time. Now what happens is I take maybe 2 NyQuil, 4 sometimes, and then it's like my body starts having like reactions to back then, and it'll be like, no, I will. I got a huge memory I have is a day after me taking a bunch of Triple C, maybe the one I took all the 26 or whatever, but me and my mom being at the mall the next day, and I'm in a packed sun, probably fucking 60 degrees in this packed sun, and I am just drenched in sweat. My mom was like, what is wrong with you? And I think it was like my liver or kidneys or whatever just were overworked so much that like I couldn't process something. And I was like, I'm so going to get caught. That was definitely, I'm going to get caught. I didn't somehow that moment. Did other times. But yeah. So anyway, kids, don't do it. Not worth it. And I think the kids these days, they're healthier. They don't need it. Now, I think the carts and the vapes are big mistakes. I got a cool cart myself recently. And I get the appeal. I do. Now, there's something about the ritual, the loading of the bowl, the breaking up of the weed, the rolling of the joint, if you will. Or if it's even cigarettes, the going out to a smoke area, taking a moment to yourself, enjoying a cigarette. There's something about the like instantaneous, like, it's like at any time that it can't be good. There's something about how instantaneous it is. It cannot be good for you. And as soon as I learned this a few years ago, I'm sure I mentioned a million times on here before, but that people that like vape nicotine, they'll wake up in the middle of the night and hit their nicotine vape, and they don't even know it, but they do it. Because I've talked to people that are married or dating people, and they're like, fuck yeah, that happens. And it's like, I smoked cigarettes for 12 years before I quit. Never once ever in that time, even when I was up to like a pack and a half a day or whatever the fuck my max was, probably more, to be honest. I was getting pretty up there. Never once did I wake up in the middle of the night, light a cigarette, smoke it, put it out, go to bed. Like that's fucking crazy. That's insane. So I do think people need to be, and I mean, gotta be careful. Maybe like fucking science will figure out lung cancer and we'll be all right. And maybe that is true, but there's just something about it that does seem not good. Also, it really stings the back of my throat more so than smoking like real carcinogenics. It's something about that seems opposite of the way it should be if it's all supposed to be healthy and good. But anyway, neither here nor there. I ran it a good amount there at the end. So let's end here. We're going to play a song by me, A2thaMo. It is going to be off of one of my albums I put out this year. Debated to get, not debate like I had a choice, but there was a chance I could have put out a 4th album this year. But I really took the last half of the year off, focus on this podcast, I guess, a little less on the music. And the music, I am forcing it, I guess, but you can't completely I'm enjoying it. You can't make music if you're not enjoying it, or it's a lot harder, I would say. So the breaks are sometimes good. And anyway, we're going to go with a song called In Smoklahoma by me, A2thaMo, off of, I think it's off Retrograde, but I could be wrong. You'll know when you see the fucking picture that'll be up here. I know I should know, but I don't know. I've made a lot of songs and they all blend together at some point. So In Smoklahoma, check it out. Again, if you're listening and you want to be on this podcast, call in, hit me up, atheshow@gmail.com, or if you have, my number, text me if you're that cool. Either one, I will check pretty quickly, and we could figure it out. Anyway, peace.
I just dropped like 150 milligram edible, and I'm feeling fucking zooted. Honestly, I'm feeling on the neck on the top floor right now. I'm about to design like 30 new fucking space cars and get us to Mars. I'm feeling fucking zooted. Honestly, I'm feeling on the neck on the top floor right now. I'm feeling fucking zooted.
I'm high, but at the end of the line, that's the point. Listen to Sublime, I'm smoking 2 joints. Like why lie? It's the truth that I enjoy. Smoking 6-foot bongs, I call them big boy toys. I'm making big noise, if not you need to turn me up. Man, there really ain't a choice, you know I gotta burn it up. El hostage to my need to calm my nerves. They legalized the herb, I can't believe I used to be, that shit was absurd. Back when I was spitting words, if I was listening, I just wanted medicinal like Colorado or Michigan. Tried to get to them, but I was stuck in Oklahoma. It was meth, the prescription pills you could tweak or you in a coma. Big bummer, spend my summer hitting pipes like angry plumbers. Had this angry mother concerned with the way THC covered my lungs and organs of various importance. I wasn't listening, it was horseshit cause that flower was so gorgeous. And SMOKLAHOMA. Not the place I wanted to stay, but got stuck, couldn't get away. And SMOKLAHOMA. Fuck what y'all say, you know we smoke weed every day. And SMOKLAHOMA. Not the place I wanted to stay, but got stuck, couldn't get away. And SMOKLAHOMA. Fuck what y'all say, you know we smoke weed every day. I stay high above ya, like religious idols. So blessed, rolling joints of pages out of the Bible. If I go 1 week with no weed, I'm liable, act suicidal. Like could we just find some roaches so Mo could put down the rifle? Yeah, I got a supply full, it keep me delightful. I basically been stoned since high school. I'm not saying that it's cool, but it's true. And when I think about it, man, I guess I'm really still that dude. Y'all don't understand, it's like you couldn't if you wanted. Like I just need a shot, like somebody went and hunted. I ain't tryna pretend to be anything that I'm not, but if you tryna say you high as I, then bitch, I'm I died. I don't know what you thought, must've forgot. When I'm smoking pot, I'll come through and I'll shut down the spot. So like, don't act surprised when I come through and kill it. I mean, we counted up the times, I swear we at like a million. Know I'm in SMOKLAHOMA. Not the place I wanted to stay, but got stuck, couldn't get away. And SMOKLAHOMA. Fuck what y'all say, you know we smoke weed every day. And SMOKLAHOMA. Not the place I wanted to stay, but got stuck, couldn't get away. And SMOKLAHOMA. Fuck what y'all say, you know we smoke weed every day.